lesson. You're on page 3 of project 2, and it looks very similar to this. Again, mine is not an active worksheet. When you do yours, you would click on the cell and enter the amount, but I'm just going to have to write it in because this is just a picture of one. Also, notice I've changed some of the numbers, so don't just copy down what I do here. This is just to show you how to get those amounts. Okay, so let's take a look. Our first column, we are missing the invoice total. We have invoice total. They tell you the terms as far as getting discounts. They tell you the date of the invoice, and they tell you when it was paid, and then what percent you get off. So let's take a look. The terms for this were 2% off, as we see here, okay, and here. If you pay within 10 days, this is ordinary dating. Notice it doesn't have EOM, so you have to pay within 10 days of the invoice. They were invoiced on the 23rd, so they would need to pay within 10 days of that, and they did. January 30th is only 7 days later. So this person got their discount and ended up paying $3,420.50. We need to know what was the original price. Okay, well, they got 2% off, so what percent did they pay? Okay, 100% minus 2. They were paying 98%. So whatever their price was, 98% times that ended up being $3,420.50. So to solve this, we divide by 98 by 0.98. Okay, so you take this number here and divide by 0.98, and that will tell us what our original price was for this invoice. And I get $3,490.31. Okay, so that's how you would find that first blank. If you're given the cash price and you need the invoice total, you divide by the discounted amount they're paying. Okay, let's take a look at the next one. The invoice price was $452. They have to pay net within 30 days. Notice the first dash part is missing. There's not a 5-10, a 2-10 like we had above. What that means is that they are not being offered a cash discount at all. Okay, there is no discount portion. So right here when we put percent off, they're not being offered anything off. Notice they ended up paying exactly what they were billed. As we get down to the next line, $640, the terms are $315, net at 30. Here's their date of invoice and the date they paid. Notice they did get a discount. They were billed for $640 and ended up paying $614.40. We want to know what percent was that. Well, it should be this percent right here. They paid within 15 days of their invoice, so they should get 3.0%. That's what the terms said they should be. And you can always double check to make sure that's what it was, but that's the easiest way to do that one, is just look at the terms. Here's our next row, an invoice of $825. This one has end of month dating on it. Okay, so it's 2% off if they pay within 10 days of the end of the month. They were billed on February 3rd, which gives them 10 days after the end of February, or March 10th. As long as they pay by then, they get their 2% discount. And they did. They paid on the 9th. So they get to have their discount. So our missing spot here is their cash price, how much they ended up paying. If you get a 2% discount, again, how much are you paying? So we go, well, out of 100%, if you get 2% off, you're paying 98%. Move the decimal over 2 places, and then multiply by the price. So the invoice on this was $825. We're going to find 98% of that. And we find it's $808.50. Alright, next column. They had an invoice that we don't know. They were offered a 2% discount if they paid within 10 days. Notice this is ordinary dating, so it has to be within 10 days of the invoice, not the end of the month. It wasn't an EOM. Their invoice date was the 3rd. Did they pay within 10 days of that? No. They should have paid by February 13th if they wanted to get a discount, and they didn't pay until March 1st. So they got 0 discount and ended up paying $864. Well, what was the original price? If you get no discount and you pay $864, your original price would have had to been $864. That's what you were told to pay. You got no discount and you paid the full amount. Alright, next line, $1,888. You're given an 8% discount as long as you pay within 20 days of the invoice. They were billed on June 13th. They paid on July 1st. So at that point, you would probably want to pull out a calendar and see how many days that is to see if they made the 20-day limit. Well, let's think. 10 days would be the 23rd of June. Within 7 days, you get to June 30th. Okay, they made it just under the wire. Okay, so if you need to, what I would do if I were ever questioning is just take out a calendar. Look at a calendar. You have one right on your computer. I would look at the calendar, go to June, and count how many days from June 13th to July 1st. If you're in all doubt. And I did that, and there are 17 days. So they did get the discount of 6% that they were offered. Again, how much are they paying then? If they get 6% off of the 100% price, they're paying 94%. So we take 94% of 1,880. So you pay 0.94 times your price here. Hold on a second, they have the wrong numbers here. This was supposed to be an 8% discount. That is an error on their spreadsheet. I didn't even have that part. So I'm sorry. You get an 8% discount. So they're paying 92%. I'm glad I caught that. Okay, that should be 8% in that column there that they have. So 1,888 times 0.0 times 0.92. When we do that, we get $1,736.96 would be the final price. Now, pause here if you need to write things down. I'm going to clear the slide so I have room to show work on these last 2 blanks. Just going to give myself some room on the side here. Okay, so here we go. Back to work. Our next empty, we only have 2 empty spots left. Here's an empty space. We need the invoice total. They got a 3% discount here and ended up paying $4,365. So if they got a discount of 3%, what percent were they paid? So again, you just take 100. If you get 3% off, you're paying 97%. This one, again, is one of those backwards ones. We don't know the amount of the invoice. We just know the amount of the discount. So we know that if we had taken 0.97 times the invoice amount, the original amount, we ended up with $4,365. We want to find out what that X is. What was the original amount? So we are dividing by 0.97. Okay, so take the 4,365 divided by 0.97. And when you do, you get $4,500. So this was a $4,500 invoice. They got 3% off, paid $4,365. And we are on our final one. What percent discount did this person get? They were billed $4,567 and ended up paying $4,200. We know they got a discount. Their dating was they get 2% off as long as they pay within 30 days of the invoice. They were billed on September 23rd, so they had until October 23rd to pay, and they did, right by the skin of their teeth. So what percent discount did they get? Well, they were offered a 2% discount, and they got that because they paid in time. Okay, so again, these are different numbers than you have on your spreadsheet, but going through this shows you how to do find each of the blanks.